the team to watch, and they are sitting at the top of that group with maximum points. We could have a scenario whereby 3 teams in that group have 6 points at the end of it. We're not going to worry too much about that now. Reminder, we've got Germany against Sweden coming up after our show here, also on ITV this evening. All those Mexicans will be very, very happy tonight. They just love a celebration, don't they? And deservedly so. I don't recall too many people having Mexico as their dark horses before this tournament at the start of it. What about now, though? How impressed have you been?
Well, they've won the 2 games. Obviously, a big victory against Germany, which was massive for them. Gets them 3 points. I thought they did okay today. I thought they won South Korea. I think would have been disappointed with their 2 performances. Over 6 points in the board. They're going to go through with a little bit of luck, although it's still possible that they might not do. And they're sitting pretty. I just think that eventually, as the tournament goes on, I think that they haven't got enough firepower to actually to go on and really make a proper impact in the competition. Just my view. I think they've got some beautiful players. They play super football. I think they're a wee bit lightweight as well too. Lovely footballers. I think great credit to the coach. I just think they don't have enough firepower to continue.
Well, they've got Javier Hernandez, player you know well from West Ham, of course.
Yeah, and it's great that he scored that 50th goal. But I agree absolutely with Martin. I'm not surprised that I expected them to go through. Maybe not in 2 games, maybe not to beat Germany. They're capable, but no. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. But so it's not surprised. But to call them dark horses, can they go very far? I doubt it.
They've got a history of going through. I mean, they've always gone through in previous tournaments, World Cup, so they obviously start very well. They get through to the last 16. Whether they're a dark horse, I don't know. I think there's better teams. But for me, really exciting football going forward, great goals, and a team that, you know, they might cause another upset in the last 16 like they did against Germany. I don't think anyone expected that. Yeah,
were you getting very animated in the second half about the defending for this goal, Slav?
I mean, we said before the game that in the game against Sweden, Korea couldn't cope physically with Sweden, but we didn't expect that to be a big issue against Mexico. But what you do when you are not physical, you go to the ground, you dive, you lose tackle, and you make fouls. And that's what they've done for a penalty dive. And then if we can see the goal again, 2 dives, they were very crucial at the halfway line when they were anyway short of numbers. And then just when Chicharito got the ball, again slide, 3 really bad mistakes.
Very bad mistakes. You know, Lee in the middle of the field has made a mistake. He's got to run with the runner. He's got to go with him, and personally, he's just given up. He's made the challenge. It's not good enough, and he's allowed to continue. When we get to the edge of the penalty area, I think actually the defender Yang, who I think is at a nightmare today, but having said this, I think he's done the right thing to force at least force Hernandez wide, because Hernandez now receiving the balls on his left foot, and I think he can still scuff it with his left foot. I think we all felt here he's going to pull it back again to get onto his right foot, and what does Django? He goes right across and makes it easier for him, and he stick the ball into the net.
I think what Mexico did well for that goal, for Hernandez's goal, is create the 3v2 overload. The amount of times in training as a striker, we as a forward line, we always practice 3v2. It's impossible to defend sometimes when you've got three players running at you, and they're pulling out wide. He can either pass it to Hernandez or pass it to Vela. No, I think on the counter-attack, Lozano's done really well there. He's timed it perfectly. Yeah. If he doesn't pass it to Hernandez, he can pass it to Vela.
Great
so I think either way,
I absolutely agree with you. But it was just that Lee made it easier for Lozano. That was the whole point.
Jang went to ground again.
That was the defending. What we wanted to see from South Korea was something more offensive from them. Can they get the ball to Son? Eventually, he scored a fabulous goal, but far too little, far too late from that.
Yeah, Son, I felt sorry for him because he was working tirelessly. First half, he was isolated on his own, running on his own. Second half, South Korea tried. They had more bodies around the ball. But they just, you know, there's nothing more frustrating as a forward, a number 9, playing isolated, running on your own, having to take on 4-5 players. And I've been there in a World Cup, you know, opening game against France, 2015, running on my own. I was so frustrated at the end of the game, I was in tears. And that that is similar to what's happened today with Son. You know, just not enough adventure going forward. In the second half, you know, they tried, but again, he's got a late goal there, which is a fantastic goal. But for me, South Korea isolated Son.
Yeah, frustrating for them, and it's not looking good too good for them. But in the other game, in the same group, Germany and Sweden kick off in just under an hour's time. And our reporter Seema Jaswal has been out and about in Sochi ahead